started.
All right, Gemak. Let's play knight f6, see what we get. Knight f3, okay. And he plays with knight c3. It's kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and play c5 here anyway. I think this is one of those cases where taking the pawn is not so great. And maybe I can get the bishop outside the pawn chain and play e6 here. So I seem to have solved my development problems so far. I can just trade off the light-squared bishop. Left with the good bishop. He's got a good knight here, that's true. And he trades it away in exchange for doubling those pawns, which is not a big deal. I can immediately undouble them by, and I have an extra c-pawn here to push forward at an opportune moment. But let's wait and decide. Sometimes you want to push the e-pawn rather than the c-pawn. He's castled there. I could drop my bishop back to c7 and put my queen on d3, threatening checkmate. He's not yet attacking the backward c-pawn, which ought to come under fire at some point. He is restraining the backward c-pawn, so that's a good positional move. And he can block here. He could also have blocked with knight to g3. So now that I've gone this way, I probably want to push the e-pawn forward, open up some lines for the queen to get over to the king side, and try and find a way to take advantage. Okay, didn't take. I just assumed he was going to take. Take advantage of those weakened light squares. Since he didn't take, I might as well close down the center here and keep his bishop locked out. So I think that's why he should have taken. Okay, he's got a square for his knight. Maybe I should just kick it back, though. Where's it going? Here, 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 and here. So the knight is going back after I kick it. And, oh, yeah, he can play there. I was thinking he couldn't play there because my knight covers that square, but of course it's defended by the queen. So unless I have some clever way of distracting the queen, not really. Don't really have a clever way of doing that. So what should I play? My knight's defended, so I don't have to do anything immediately. I was thinking it'd be nice to play g4 here to lock down those pawns. But if I play queen here to do that, and then queen to e6 and pawn to g4, he can just take the knight, take back with the queen, and then he can take the pawn. So it doesn't work. Let's put the rook on the c-file. That's something I probably want to do in any case.
Check.
Yeah, just see if he wants to trade that off, which he did. So without that knight around, I have some ideas here. Let's create a little space for my bishop. Maybe the bishop can come out over on this diagonal. I could also think about pushing the h-pawn forward and trying to soften up the king side some more, but that seems a bit far-fetched. His queen right now is covering h5. But here, okay, his queen just came out. So he's allowing me to soften up his queenside pawns here. Yeah, so he chose to defend them. That's logical. Okay, yeah, that's what I do. I'll lift the king up, bring the rook over to h8 here. So I can kick the queen. So So the queen got out of the way in advance. Let's place my bishop here. Now I'm kind of piling up on his b pawn. He could pile up on my c pawn though. And he does it right away. Let's chase the queen. Where's the queen going? He's going to take my d pawn. I'm just not awake here. But I am hitting his bishop. Okay. Yeah, I'm not awake here. We'll see what happens. I mean, it would be, what is it, 3 pawns for the piece? Queen takes there, he goes there. That gives up the bishop 4, not enough. He can double his rook. He pins, that's his idea. Let's see, so if I play rook to d8 here, he takes the bishop, I take the queen, he takes the rook. Yeah, so it looks like he's getting his bishop back. So I should move the queen out of the way. Maybe queen here looks dangerous. Queen to f3. I don't have a rook to help out. Maybe if I start with this move, let him take my bishop, and then play queen to f3, and try and gang up on the f2 square. I have 2 rooks and a queen. I need to defend the I need to defend my g pawn. Don't want that going with check and causing destruction over here. So let's hit the f pawn twice now. He could have played rook to f4. That might have been more powerful. I would have had to play queen to h5, rook f5, queen h5 to defend f7. When his queen was here, right? If we back up in this position, yeah, his queen was on d7, supporting rook to f5. Okay, where'd he go?
Check.
Went with the check. Let's see, if I move my king up, he has this check with the rook. And if I move my king down, he also has a check with the rook. I could move my king to the side. And he's threatening mate here. Well, it's not mate, is it? It's a check with the queen or with the rook. I'll come here. I could check here. I could go here. Let's continue to attack his king side here. So now I am threatening to take on f2. I have 3 attackers and he has 2 defenders, and it'll come with a mate threat because queen g2 will be the threat of mate. And his pieces are here gathered around my king. So it's a kind of a race. If he can checkmate me first. Yes, he has that check. Oh, he has this follow-up check with rook to d6. I guess I will have to block with the pawn because if the king runs here, then queen takes h6. Looks pretty dangerous. What, king here, queen here?
Check.
It can't be good. Can't be good. So let's try blocking. Now that opens up the queen for some checks here. He could probably get a perpetual now.
Check.
Yeah. Or better. Maybe he has better than a perpetual. Yeah, okay, that's good. I can't go forward here. I can't run away. I could run to this square. If I come back, then the check with the rook is mate. So I have to come forward. And maybe there's a mate here too.
Check.
Well, that was
Check.
the only move there. Oh, maybe this will end in a draw unless he discovers another check here. The rook check would drive my king back to g4. Then I would have some more
Check.
queen checks along this diagonal. Yeah, so I can't come forward. I have to go here. But I can block checks along the diagonal with the pawn push. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Yeah, this is the sort of thing you should calculate out to the end before playing it, rather than hoping things will turn out for the best. But it's a Blitz game, so it's
Check.
interesting. Yeah, so I thought I had to block here, and then I thought White was starting to run out of checks. White can sack a pawn, though. If he sacks the pawn, I take with the king, and then he takes here with the queen with check. And he does that. So I have no choice but to take. Is that true? Hold on a second. If I go back here, now then the diagonal check is made, so I have to take it. He could take with the rook.
Check.
If he takes with the queen, this forces a trade. And what is the situation now? Now it's actually, he's a pawn up. I can probably round up this pawn too. And his f-pawn is adequately defended, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a trick. If I push this pawn forward, can he mate me? I kind of want to push this pawn forward. But he can't check me here because my pawn covers that square, so let's do that. It takes away an escape square from my king, so I have to be careful. But pawn there, I take it. Rook there, I take it. I could even take on g3 with the pawn. So now I have to be careful. Starting to take there with mate threats. Here, this hits the rook, right? And he has to drop back. I'm covering this f4 square where he could also mate me, potentially. And I'm going to take on g3 next. That's my idea. It's a big plan. I need to try and open up his kink, right? I need counterplay. So he can check me here, and I can bring my king back. Still a very
Check.
tricky position, isn't it? This threatens mate, but at the same time it allows him to check me. So how about if I go here instead? This also threatens mate. Check, check, and mate. And it's not so easy for him to check my king now, right? His king has no escape. He's got to move the rook. The rook on f1 needs to move out of the way, so his king has an escape square. Then maybe at least I can round up some of those pawns. Get back to an even game here. Yeah, so he did that. Let's check. Let's take here. Okay, this is a mate threat. And there's a check.
Check.
I think I'm going to go for the draw here because he's got an extra pawn, and if I can't find a way to mate him here, then I really have nothing better than a draw, and I should take advantage of the temporary displacement of his pieces.
Check. Check. Game drawn.
Okay, that was a draw. Anyway,
Incoming
I'll
challenge.
upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.